San Antonio! Welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast, where we're going to talk about nothing but the Cowboys and the Spurs and Ken's new haircut.
And that's enough about that. Welcome, San Antonio, to All Things San Antonio, your favorite realtors and co-host of All Things San Antonio here for you. We thought about talking about the Cowboys and how they're going to start off, but or the Spurs and how they're going to start off for the first 10 games. We're gonna go through and I do not know enough about them.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm excited to go to a couple games and see Chris Paul team up with Wemby. I think Chris Paul will feed him the ball a little bit more, and I think Wemby, if he gets the ball, he's just gonna cook.
My daughters they had a game the other day. They had a game they ended up going to it on, I think, Sunday. They played there at the Frost.
Yeah, I think they had a scrimmage or something, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't think Wemby played much, but they were sitting pretty high up. But they were still able to give him a high five because he's so tall. It's a joke. I'm just kidding.
It's a yoke. It's a yoke, guys. I was confused. So San Antonio, we got a lot of exciting stuff happening right now.
We're fixing to get into the Christmas season, or actually Halloween season's up next. By the time this one comes out,
this will be out. It's going to be Christmas full blown.
It'll at least be Thanksgiving.
No, it won't be that far, but it'll probably drop first week in November.
Did y'all ever drive through Windcrest?
Oh yeah. Do you?
Oh yeah, of course.
The only thing that sucks though is sometimes
worse.
it can take a long time to get through.
Yeah.
But I always, growing up, I always saw the Windcrest houses, and I was like, man, these people made it.
I feel like it's not being continued like it was 10 years ago.
For sure. I think it's less houses participating. So if you don't know, Windcrest is probably the brightest city in San Antonio.
During Christmas.
They have huge Christmas lights sets.
They always have a big competition through the neighborhood, and almost a lot of the houses participate, so it creates a little winding going through.
Yeah, it can take 2 or 3 hours to get through it.
Yeah,
which kills my personality type, because I just want to drive and go.
And it may be because my kids are older now, because that's when we used to always go through and they were, say, 12, 13, 14 at the oldest, and we would play the Christmas songs on 101.9 and grab some hot chocolate and drive through there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll throw on some Christmas trap music. You ever heard Christmas trap?
I have not heard.
You got to listen to Christmas trap. It has some nice bass to it.
I'm sure it does.
But no, I think what we're gonna do this year, I don't know if we'll go through Windcrest. But Santa's Wonderland is always a good time. It's up at College Station. It's just a few hours away. And I think the advertisement was 1 million Christmas lights. They have snow tubes and a hayride, and
they do the fake snow for the snow tubes, or
it's probably ice, I'm assuming. But then they have the little bubble fake snow that's shooting out, kind of doing that sort of thing. But it's cool because it's a little Christmas town you walk through. They have food. They have s'mores stations to where you can make s'mores.
Yeah, we used to always go up to Bastrop State Park before it burned down and go. For a Thanksgiving hike afterwards and everything, and then go up there and cut. They always had a place to go cut Christmas trees down before it all got burned down. We used to love going up that area.
That's cool. What I really want to make sure I do this year is get to the Riverwalk and do the boat tour for the Christmas lights.
Have you ever done a boat tour?
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
I've never been on one.
It's interesting.
I saw a video the other day on TikTok. Some streamers or whatever, they put a mattress tent kind of thing, inflatable, and they were floating down San Antonio River this last weekend or something like that. I don't know if they ended up. Someone was like, "Y'all don't want to have to get out in the water."
Yeah, the water looks pretty nasty.
Well, it's almost they clean it out in January, so it's this is the tail end, almost the dirtiest that the San Antonio River is going to get.
It's pretty. I mean, I think the San Antonio River in general is pretty nasty.
Oh man, I used to wait tables at Rio Cantina, and you would just watch people fall in and into. It was hilarious. I remember this one that she was on the other side of the river, and she was trying to take a picture, and she kept taking
just backed up.
She take a step back, and boom! I'm like, oh, it's so gross.
Oh man, no, but you gotta do a riverboat tour. It's interesting because they give you kind of San Antonio history as you're going down. You see the bridge where they filmed the Selena movie. They give you some history on some different buildings. I was alive when they built
the Selena movie. Did you also know? Have you ever seen the movie Cloak and Dagger?
No, I haven't.
It's from I want to say 82 or something like that. They filmed that down on the Riverwalk. Like there's a big scene and like down there where the grottos and stuff are now. And it's like if you go down there now, it's like, oh well, if you're my age and you're like, oh, I can see it now.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you get some good history. I like history of San Antonio. Like it's interesting to see where it's evolved and how it's grew. So it's pretty. I always like to go down there and do that. We're
gonna have years. John Bloodsworth's gonna come back on and talk more San Antonio history. Some of the stuff that he talked before about the Ringling Brothers. We're gonna get more into that.
Yeah, I liked that. Like I thought that was super interesting. And then I like talking to Lorenzo as well. Yeah. When he talks about the people that pull the strings in San Antonio and things like that. Like it's just crazy to see it boil down to.
And that's the thing is like most people hear the city. Or they think about and they hear government. Those at the end of the day, those are like individuals behind those big words, and just like any other city, we've got a handful of people that really shape the way the city is moving.
I know we're a big city, but we're a small town.
Yeah, real small town.
So everything is looped into everybody and.
The 6 degrees of separation, like it's real quick to get to mover and shaker, and
we're experiencing that now, and some of the business stuff we're doing
for sure. I'm hopeful that I had coffee with John Bloodsworth, and he was talking about like how he loved just going down to like Central Market, and because he lives pretty close there, and he'll get a cup of coffee and a croissant at the bakery, and sit in the cafe and read a paper, do a little bit of work, get ready for the day and stuff like that. And it would be nice to have that surrounded by a denser population that where it's easy to walk to that and have that kind of experience. Like we went down to the Pullman Market the other day.
No, that was super neat. Just for anybody watching,
the Pullman Market.
Don't go to the Pullman Market to buy ground beef. It was like $10 a pound
for 70-30.
Yeah. So don't do that.
But it's good.
But it's a cool spot. Like
it's really interesting.
Just not for ground beef.
Nah, but like the whole concept behind it, having a little market, because there's a lot of people that live in the apartments right there. They've got a grocery store that's affordable. If you're gonna live there, it's an affordable grocery store. But they also have a little bar area. They've got pasta where they do dried pasta. They make pasta, fresh pasta. They got a fresh bakery. They got a butcher with dry aged Wagyu beef. If you're
it was super, like it was a cool spot.
Mexican restaurant, Italian restaurant.
I enjoyed just sitting down there drinking coffee, and really I've been gnawing on it and looking at it, and I think they're recreating that. Maybe not to that level, but they're recreating similar to that down in City Base, like Brook City Base.
Yeah.
And I've been telling my wife, I've been telling Delilah, I want to get an office down there. Like, I think it'd be super cool, like, to have an office, like, in a Pearl type area or a type like that, to where I want to go down, pop down, I'll just walk down and get a cup of coffee. I'll go have a meeting down there. I'll go sit outside and work for a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly. I remember when the Pearl first opened, that's when I was working at Rackspace. And, like, the big competitor to Rackspace was a company called Pier 1 Hosting. And their offices were at the Pearl. And kind of right by where the CIA, the Culinary Institute is and stuff. And we thought we had it cool at Rackspace because, I mean, we had coffees, like we had restaurants on site and all this other stuff. But, like, the idea of, like, where they were at the Pearl and, like, they could do that. They go down to...
They had it super cool.
They had it super cool, man. It's like, it's such a great work environment. It's like, if you're going to have to be at an office, like, having that kind of environment. And that's what big cities are leaning towards, because no one wants to go to an office anymore. Yeah. I mean, I saw a report where I think Amazon, you should look it up, like Amazon workers, like 90% are starting to look for new jobs ever since they told them that they had to come to the office 5 days a week. And it's like, if you're just going to the office without something like that, having people now they've had that work-life balance where they can go work sitting on the greenery at the Pearl and stuff, and they're still getting their job done.
Was it Amazon or Google that just got mad at a bunch of their employees because they give them like a monthly food allowance or some sort of allowance, and they were buying other personal items with that allowance? Yeah, it was like a whole thing. Like I saw an article on it.
You can't do anything nice for people. Someone's going to take advantage of it and ruin it for everybody.
But the way I see it, I don't necessarily think Amazon or Google or whoever this was might be justified on that. Because if I'm going to give you $300 a month to go spend whatever, like go spend it how you want. Like I'm paying the same amount whether you go buy hot dogs or new socks. You know what I mean?
There's a comedian, Mitch Hedberg. He passed away, but he had a joke that he goes, "What are you doing giving me a gift certificate to Applebee's?" He goes, "Now I'm obligated to go to Applebee's." He goes, "You took a perfectly good $20 bill that I could spend anywhere and made me have to go to this place." So I get it. It's like, don't tell me how to spend my money.
Gift cards are such a hustle. Like it's literally an interest-free loan that consumers are giving you.
Yeah, for the holders.
Yeah. So how much does Starbucks make on interest that people upload their cash to the app, and it just sits there and acquires interest, and they use it every day, and they'll upload some more? Like they probably get $1 billion worth of upload money at any given time.
$1 billion seems like a lot, but I bet they do.
Yeah, but think about how much interest they're getting off of that money. Because people are like, hey, let me upload it to here.
Imagine if they took that money and then used it to buy real estate, they could even increase it.
Well, if they get with us, they can get 12% return on their money.
At least 4 months guaranteed. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, so it's just crazy like how much of a hustle gift cards are.
I agree, yeah.
Because you literally commit that money to that business before you even have to make anything.
Did your kids have a fall break from school?
No, mine didn't. What about yours?
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
The Elena didn't, but my nephew in Medina out in Castroville in Medina Valley, they did a fall break after the 9 weeks.
Yeah, they had like a whole week off, right?
Yeah, but if I remember, he might have started a week early too.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do adjust that, but I mean, it's cool to get a fall break. I think it's cool to travel and do things like that.
It's tough for parents though, because most parents they have to work, and now you have a kid that's 9 years old that you
can't do anything.
What are you going to do with them? And now it's tough.
Yeah, if the teachers would stay on top of grading their papers, they wouldn't need an extra couple of days off to roll into the new semester.
That's not why it is. They had already have to have the grades turned in by then. This is after the 9 weeks.
Well, it's usually right there, like the day the 9 weeks end and begins.
Yeah.
So usually all that stuff gets processed during those times. We'll have some teacher work days and things like that. Which I'm not a teacher, but
Elena just got her report card. She did good.
Teachers go through a lot. Like I'm not gonna sit here and bash them, but I'm just like, if we stayed up with it, we wouldn't have to watch our kids.
I have a lot of respect for teachers, but I do think that they're well paid. It's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
I think everybody should make more money.
I think so too, but I think that it's one of those things. It's like I believe there's problems with meritocracies in all things, but like whenever you have like such a across the board pay scale, there's people that are not getting what they deserve, but there's also people that are getting way more than they deserve.
Yeah.
And
I think it goes
difficult. It's difficult.
Same thing when it goes to the Army or the military or anything like that. Like, just you get paid based on your rank.
The problem with schools, and I will say this. I saw this the other day. I don't know if I can find it fast, but it shows like the amount of increase in cost for schools. It has nothing to do with teachers, and it has to do with teacher pay or anything like that. Like the administration side of it has increased by like 300%. I'm never going to get to this.
So you're talking about like administration pay?
Administrations and superintendents and stuff like that, all of those things. Because here's what happens from my understanding, and I'm not an expert, and this is probably way outside of our thing, but the government says that you have to do this. They have some sort of new policy in place, and a lot of times, sometimes they're for protection of individuals, sometimes they're just different things that are new policies. Well, as soon as that policy is in place, now that you got to hire someone to manage that policy. Like they have so many policies and things that they have to manage and be aware of and things like that, that they're adding layers of bureaucracy and administration that never gets down to the kids. It's just managing the bullshit.
Checking the box
and managing the bullshit that the government is making them do and stuff that's in a hindrance of education. Because a lot of times I saw a thing on the All In podcast, they were talking about AI and general intelligence with AI and how quickly we're getting to it. And they foretold, and I think that it has, I think it's got some legitimacy to it. The kind of like your mundane education, like how to read, how to do arithmetic, how like the basics of it, those types of things are not going to be taught by teachers per se. They're going to be taught through computer, because you already have that type of computer interaction.
Yeah, the credit recovery type.
All this stuff, like you do all these things through it, like already. So like that stuff is going to get transitioned into those. And then where we're going to have value, where teachers who really should get paid quite substantially, in my opinion, and they're going to be, their responsibility is going to be more to teach how these kids to now critically think and understand why when they put, hey, AI, why should I do this? And it tells you this. It's like, okay, what if you asked it differently? Like, don't just to be able to critically think and understand what is being generated from the AI. Because most of the stuff in the future, we're going to get told, we're going to input it in something and say, hey, this is the best course of action.
Just like when calculators came out.
Yeah. It's not even close.
Yeah, but back in the day, people used to like draw it out, do all that stuff when you could punch it in the calculator and
but
get
they
an
don't
answer.
understand. Yeah, but they didn't understand how you get to how do you get to that answer now and stuff. Yes,
that's gonna be the same thing with ChatGPT. People type it in, get the answer,
and that's
what you gotta know how you get there.
ChatGPT is just the beginning stages of AI,
and it all started with calculators.
It did. I was talking, and so like I was talking to my friend, and we were talking about he's opening up some franchises for those like acai bowls. I don't want to say the actual franchise, but like they do acai bowls and stuff like that. And I was like, kind of asking, I was like, well, do you have what kind of systems, what kind of processes do y'all have already in place and things like that? Like, and my real question is like, how soon can you get AI to take over? Like little robots to kind of make the bowls for you and stuff. And SpaceX or Tesla or whatever that's producing the Optimus, that robot, it's going to be like $25,000 for a robot. So instead of hiring an employee in McDonald's or to make your outstation, why not buy one $25,000? That's a year's salary, year pay, and you never have to pay them again. You don't have to.
Are you buying one?
I will get one immediately if I can. As soon as it's available to me and I can afford to buy one, there's no sense in not having it.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
I was telling you that the other day with like even like real estate. It's like if you're not taking advantage of every opportunity that's afforded from technology, you're going to be left behind.
Exactly.
You have, because somebody's doing it and they will do it 1,000 times better than you because they're using something that's 1,000 times smarter.
My robot's gonna hate me because I'm gonna keep it busy.
I'm glad they don't have real emotions. Hopefully.
I'm like, hey, robot, cut the
Our robots are gonna be the ones that like they're gonna get together and say, hey, let's just take over the world. It's like
I like all the memes that are coming from
guys.
It. You see all the memes? Like my robot looks at me when I tell it we got to make 3,000 tamales for Christmas.
No, but did you see the meme of that kid, the Texas guy, the kid with the big hair and stuff? That when they lost, he was the angry Texas fan.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was when I saw it, and I was like, I saw the picture. I was like, I sent it to my daughter. I was like, this is going to become a thing. And I've seen like 100 his face used like, and now I've seen a video of like he was at the game because he looked. I don't know if you know who Conway Twitty is. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, he had the big hair. So this kid's got big hair. He's got his orange shirt on. Like he just looks like UT frat boy kind of thing.
Hey, my favorite thing about that last game when UT lost to Georgia. So they got spanked.
This
It is
is
what
the
it
game
is.
that he's at. But let me finish. They had a video of him going like, he goes, "Oh my God, his high school Spanish group chat was saying you're going famous right now because they saw his picture." I got to shoot.
So
Go ahead.
the fans at that game bullied the refs into overturning a call. Did you see that?
I saw that.
So they threw like hundreds of water bottles onto the field, and they had to go back. Oh man!
So that kid, and then they got him on Mount Rushmore right there.
They had to go. They went back and took
It's
away
good
the
podcast
pass
material.
interference.
But it wasn't even pass
No,
interference.
it wasn't. It was a bad call to
horrible
begin
call.
with.
But and the thing is, have you ever seen anybody ever reverse a call in football?
I've seen a few here and there, but it's usually because it's been reviewed.
Yeah.
And there was no reviews on it. So they basically got bullied into changing the call. And now UT is supposed to use their best of their power
They
to
are
go
doing
find
it, though.
everybody that threw a water bottle, and they can't go to any more games for the rest of the year.
So I've seen in my TikTok feed like screenshots from kids from UT saying, and they got emails saying we have identified you as one of the people that have thrown things on the field, and you have been banned. They're like their TICS blocks where they get it through like their university. They can't go to any more games for anything the rest of the for a year. They've caught a bunch of them already. Because hey, dude, video,
Social media,
AI,
yeah.
social media.
Just like when they caught all the people that stormed the Capitol.
It's like
the internet.
That Baltimore Ravens incident. Did you see? Where's the guy was? I think the guy who did Baltimore Ravens play? Philadelphia or something like that.
I don't know.
Baltimore played somebody, and this Baltimore Ravens fan sucker punched two of the rival team's fans and stuff in the street and stuff like that. Picture people found his LinkedIn. Got him fired. He's now last thing it's crazy the stuff that gets in my feed. He's now been last thing I saw was that he reported to the police station because he's in charge of his assault. He knocked out it was 3 different people that he's such a punk.
Yeah.
24-year-old, and he has all these trouble. He's already done all these things. It's like, man, just put this guy in jail. Like,
So by the time this podcast comes out, we'll know who's going to be the next president, huh?
for sure. Because it's how like 18 days or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like I see everybody out there early voting.
On the first day, I think they said there was like 46,000
Yeah.
people voted in San Antonio.
And I see the lines, and it does not make me inclined to stop.
It makes it hard, right?
You're like,
It's like, hey, all those, like, whatever, the people, all those people are like, maybe we should do mail-in ballot.
I was thinking about that. I was like, how could they do this to where they don't cheat?
You know?
Yeah. I thought about it.
You know what, to be honest with the voting thing, I don't know, like, whatever, but it seems like we have the technology to, like, just go online. I mean, if I can file my taxes online, why shouldn't I be able to vote
Because you're
online?
paying them money and they're okay with that.
So
but
you want there to be a poll tax? Dude, that's kind of progressive. That's crazy, dude.
no, but yeah, it's just those lines are not it.
You know what? It's good. I'm glad that there's a bunch of lines out there. I'm glad a bunch of people
Yeah.
are voting. A lot of
I
people.
think they need to do.
Something.
They need to have people be able to vote at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A will move those lines. Like, imagine a
'Cause you can't vote on
drive-through
Sunday
voting
anyways.
station. Yeah.
You can't vote on Sundays.
Vote on Sunday. But you can't.
They've moved some lines, man.
That's what I'm saying. If you did a drive-through vote,
What do you think about Elon Musk giving away $1 million a day?
I haven't heard. What's he doing?
So he started a America PAC or something like that, a political action committee, and they're trying to do something in Pennsylvania. And so for everybody that signs this petition, he's giving like $48 to them or something like that. And then once a day up until the election, he's giving away $1 million a day. So Mark Cuban came out and said, hey, you can't do that. That's paying for votes and this and that. And it's legal somehow and stuff like that. But
I feel like that gets like borderline. That gets borderline. Mark Cuban, we talked about it last night. He's not the same as he used to be, huh?
he's changed. He's interesting. because it's. But you know what? I look at like. Some people build businesses and stuff like that a certain way, and it's like, okay, you see it and everything like that. Like he had, how much of it is sometimes, how much is it? And I don't want to discredit. He's far more successful and smarter than I am probably, and ever be. But like his big play was the Yahoo stock thing. So he had broadcast.com, and he sold it to Yahoo. Mm-hmm. It was online sports broadcast, stuff like that. And he just figured that the .com thing was going to burst and everything, with the bubble was going to burst, which it ended up doing. And he took a lot of them at the stock at like a guaranteed price and was able to exit out. So he was able to cash out. It was like, it's now known as like one of the best stock trades ever or something like that. And it's like, well, you're just hedging your bet, like, or like, were you super genius about that? And
I think he was pretty smart with it. I read a book by him, or I listened to a book by him.
By him? So it's already, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, but he put in a lot of work. Like he talks about, he was like sleeping on a friend's couch. And like he talks about like how he got up and going from the beginning. And he put in the work. Like,
I'm sure.
It wasn't luck. Maybe it might have been a little bit of luck.
It was a good idea. It was the right idea at the right time. And that's what happens with a lot of things. It's like the right idea at the right time. Mm-hmm. And there was an opportunity because you didn't have streaming.
I used to really not like him when he used to talk about the Spurs all the time.
Yeah.
I used to be like, what is this guy talking about our river walk? Like, only we can say it's dirty.
That's right. It is dirty, though.
Like, chill out, Mark. And then Dirk Nowitzki killing us.
But that's why we don't go down to the river walk.
Yeah. But you can't say that. Like, he can't say that. He's not from here. But no, I think he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are too smart for their own good, though.
I don't know. Like, we'll see. I'm hopeful that we have a smooth
transition
next 4 years. But I was talking to my friend this morning, and I was like, at the same time, everybody gets all hot and bothered about every election, that it's doomsday. If this is going to happen, this person. None of it ever happens. Like, we just keep on going, and it's like.
Except the last one, it was a little crazy.
But it was crazy for that moment, for that day and stuff like that.
It was a day, yeah.
And like, it did transition. It's like, that's what I was saying. It's like, our government bureaucracy and everything is like, it's its own little organism. Yeah. Like, you can't do but so much to it.
You can't get in there and stay. Like, people will get you out.
And I've been listening to on the Wondery, the American History Storytellers or something like that, like their podcast. And they were going like talking about the Cold War, and even like, and then the next one I listened to was about the Prohibition, and it's the same shit, man. There's like, we got to get rid of the immigrants that are taking the job, like the exact same stories, like 100 years ago, and then 60 years, like they haven't changed. Like they have us arguing about the same stuff that, like, let's just deal with what we can deal with locally.
Well, because in my opinion of it, and you might call me a conspiracy theorist, but the conspiracies are only conspiracies until they're true. There's a few hot topics that people use to divide us. Mm-hmm. There's race, religion,
immigration,
sex, immigration. Like, there's 4 or 5 topics,
jobs, right? They always say that immigrants are going to take your jobs, and it never happens.
No,
it's always the jobs that weren't being filled.
Yeah, I mean, Americans, for the most part, we're lazy.
Very.
And if we were filling those jobs, they couldn't be taken, because if you're amazing at a job, you're not going to get replaced.
Yeah, it's always like it's women when women say like they get 72% of what men get paid and stuff like that. And if you like just do it straight across the board, it is. But there's like, if you think about the time off, like there's a lot of things. It's not as drastic as what it makes it out to. And I always like when people say, yeah, like if that was really true, then you'd only have women get hired, because if people could run their company at 72% of the cost. And
just like Michael Hellickson talks about, people would rather listen to women than men. That's why the GPS is in a woman's voice.
South African female.
Siri is
mine's South African female. Yeah. I imagine it's Charlize Theron, but she hasn't returned my calls.
I don't know. I never I mean, you don't set up GPS to have a dude's voice.
Snoop Dogg, I would.
That'd be pretty
That'd
funny.
be cool.
Did you see that meme? It said every generation has had a blue dog. So it was like Snoop Dogg and then Blue's Clues, and now it's Bluey. Like every generation has a blue dog to lead them through the way.
I like ours is better. Let's go.
Cool. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Come hang out with us for another week. We'll see y'all later.
Cheers.